Good morning. So today I made a card using the sea turtle, where you have just a little bit taken off of the two sides, and you can't really tell that when you're looking at the card from the front, but only the center panel will open. So for this particular card, I'm going to make two, but for this particular card, um, we used a piece of 4¼ by 11, so half the paper long ways. The green that's on here, I had a piece of 2½ by 5¼ and then these two pieces of 1/2 by 5¼ and then the white is 2¼ by 5 and 2½ by 5¼ Now you can see on this one that I've embossed some circles. I thought they kind of look like bubbles, kind of tie in with this on there. So let me move that one out of the way. That's the turtle. You know what? I'll leave that there. So I thought, since we're kind of, getting into that fall time almost, we're already into August, that I would also make a Thanksgiving and a Christmas card using this particular design. So I don't have my new paper yet from the mini catalog. So I'm using some older paper. And this we're going to call the pumpkin card. So I have the piece of 4¼ by 11. I'm going to fold that in half. Okay. And then what you need to do, if you like the looks of the turtle that I did, I'm just going to cut 3/4 of an inch off both sides of the front. So to do that, if you bring in your trimmer, I'm going to take off, like I said, 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and I'm going to go all the way up to the fold. Okay, and that's what we'll do to take 3/4 of an inch. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so you're going to end up with a piece that looks like this. Then I just took my snips and just trim this. Now you can do this with your trimmer also. It's such a, it's only 3/4 of an inch, so I felt like I could do straight enough with my scissor. All right, and that's basically the card. Now for this one, instead of doing a matte and then doing the white piece, I chose just to do a piece of the designer paper. All right, so I'm just going to adhere that right to the front. I've always got a couple pieces of paper left from prior years. I'd like to bring out and use them again. This was one of my favorites because it was very non-traditional fall colors. Now you can see it had some traditional, rust and orange and that kind of thing in there too. But I just love this. This was actually Tranquil Tide and Espresso combination. All right, so now instead of, so this piece of white is going to go on the inside, but instead of using a piece of embossed paper, I'm going to use just 2 pieces of designer paper on the sides of this, and that is the 5/8 by 5¼ It really goes together pretty quick. And those pieces, those 3/4 inch pieces that we cut off the sides, you could always save those to be a band on another card. They don't have to be waste. Okay. Now on my, get this in here first. On my first card that I did, this was only a 1/2 inch. And see, that left the border here plus the border here. and I didn't want that much room on this one. So that's why I went 5/8, because now when I close, see, I've just got the one border. It's not doubled. Okay, look how cute that looks. So for this one then, I thought maybe I would take a piece of the espresso ribbon. I'm just going to tie it on the front, just for something a little bit different. I didn't tie any ribbon with the turtle card, and I had stamped that one. I didn't use designer paper, so you can go either way with those. I was going to make sure that's over to the side there. And then for this one, I thought maybe I would try something. This is, again, this Colorful Seasons. You know, that's a set that I've used a lot through the years. I was going to see if I could. It's kind of a mess. You can see how much I've used it. Got all my masks in here. There's a smaller leaf also. Did we have that? That one. Okay. So I'm going to try. I'm going to say try because I didn't do this ahead of time. The magic of live tube. Just use this one. I'm just going to try double stamping on one of these. Make sure the pad is inked up. There we go. Oh, maybe I'll do the. No, I want to use the green. Okay. And then I was going to clean these off after. Take the Tranquil Tide. This pad has gotten a little bit older, so I don't know. It looks like it's inking up pretty well. And then I'm going to try, stamping off and then stamping over top here. Oh, that came out pretty well. I think that looks pretty. I could use a little leaf too, but I don't think I'm going to. So then I'll leave this out to do my words. And I was using this as a Thanksgiving, so I was going to do with gratitude. I love it when it comes out, but you know it doesn't always. Okay, so then I will put this on here. When my glues are getting low, I ordered some with my pre-order for the new mini catalog. It's just not here yet. We could only order starting on the 2nd, so I suppose I could have expedited it, but I did not. So then I will take a just one-dimensional and hook it over here on the side. Okay, and that kind of holds the ribbon down. I like for that to overhang. And then I'll put this right on the inside. Is that the one I just opened? Go, and I'm just lining that up with the top and the bottom of the designer paper. And look what a cute Thanksgiving card. And again, from the front, you don't realize that the front panel is the only part that's going to open, having that on the side. All right, so that's the pumpkin. Now we'll do one more for Christmas. And again, this is a piece of older paper because my new paper is not here yet. And this one, yeah, you can still see that. We've still got the 4 1/4 by 11. I'll fold that in half. And then I'm still going to cut the 3/4 off of the front. So, you know, I'm just moving this. You could do it this way or this way. It's just easier for me just to measure 3/4 over that way. Let's cut it all the way back to the fold. And then just flip it over and do the same thing. There. And I will just trim this with my scissor. And like I said, you could save these pieces. You know, they could be a band across another part. All right, so same thing here. Now this time, I am going to mat. Remember this one? I did not mat. So this one, I'm going to mat it with the Evening Evergreen and then put this piece on. I think that really makes it pop. And when you're choosing, you know, the papers that you're going to use, it doesn't matter. You can pick up any of the colors that are in your designer paper if that's what you're going to use. If you're going to stamp it, of course, you just stick with the colors of ink that you have and the colors of paper that are available to you. Put that on. Some of these DSPs, it's hard to decide which side to use because they're both so beautiful. But I really, really liked this one. Okay. So that's a designer paper. Now on here, remember this old, like a cable knit sweater embossing folder? I went ahead and took that and embossed it because I thought having that cable knit running down the side of this would be really cool. So I want this to be 5 1/4 long. It didn't quite cut through. I think I wasn't pressing down enough. Right, so 5 1/4. There we go. Okay, and then I need each piece to be 5/8 inch wide. And I was looking, I think I can just get that cable knit if I do that. So I'm going to trim that off the side and then measure it at 5/8 of an inch. Yep, and that just about gives me my cable. I need either my sanding block. I think because I've already got this embossed, it's just not cutting real well. I'll do one side. I'm going to go ahead and do the other. There to there. And then cut it at 5/8. So there. Okay. You know, I was looking to see what kind of embossing folders that I had. You know, poinsettias or something, pine trees, something that looked very Christmassy. But when I saw this cable knit, look how cool, look how cute that is. Just having that one thing running down the side. So let me go ahead and put that on. So sometimes you have to, you know, even though I was looking for a very Christmassy folder, when I saw this one, I thought it would be good. So sometimes you just have to keep, you know, kind of an open mind when you're looking. Because I didn't want to use the whole thing. I just wanted one row of that kind of cable knit. Sweater look. we go. It's that side. And there's that side. Oh, I just think that's so cute. So cute. All right, so then this will be my piece for the inside. And I think I'm just going to do a pine cone. So I'm using this Christmas season. And I like to put it on the foam when I'm using the photopolymer stamps. Let's see, this one is the one that goes with the lighter. Now, if you want to use the same color, I'll show you in a minute. It's cute. Then do this one, the espresso. You know, it's fun. It's just, you know, playing around with what you have, the stamps you have, the colors you have, the designer paper you have. Of course, you always want to get new also, but, you know, right now, like I say, I'm waiting on my new. So what I meant when I said you can stamp off, if I wanted just to use the espresso, I could stamp my dark one. Okay. Then for your lighter one, put it in the same ink, stamp off, and then do your second inking here and see how that's lighter and darker. So you don't have to actually have two matching colors, just make one of them, one of the stamps full strength and the other one stamp off first, and that kind of gives you the two colors, which is nice. Okay, so then that will go right on the inside. I just really like the look of this, and it's pretty easy. Again, you don't need special tools or anything. You can just use your trimmer. And you know what? I liked the ribbon on the last one. So I think I'm going to, because the espresso ribbon would go with this one too. I think I'm going to use a little bit of that ribbon. Tie that around. And I've got like a gazillion Christmas sayings. Maybe not a gazillion, maybe only 50. I have enough. But of course, I've ordered more because there's always something more fun. And you don't want to just use, or I don't want to just use the same things all the time. I like to have some different ones. Okay, so I'm going to put this on here with one of my Christmas things. This one has "'Tis the Season," so I think that's one I will use. If I can find it. There it is. Where my small block went. It's, oh, there it is. Okay. Do "'Tis the Season." That's green, so I'll do this in espresso. I like to do my words in the opposite color than I've done my matte. I did this the wrong way, that it's going to cut both, but that's okay because I'll use that for something else. Okay. So you can see this, I mean, this card design was suitable for my original card, which I probably will use as a birthday card. And then also for the Thanksgiving and for the Christmas. I'm sure it would work just as well for a thank you or a Hanukkah or anything. So let me see. Maybe I'll put the words on this side this time just for something different. We'll put that over there. And then I put the one dimensional on the center panel side and not on the other side. There we go. I just like it when it overhangs. I think I'm going to trim this a little bit too. I need to go get my ribbon scissors. They work so much better. That's okay. All right. So let's see what we've got here. Get all these things out of the way. So I had the Christmas card. Okay, then there were the dimensions on that. I had the Thanksgiving card, the pumpkin, and I had the original, which was the turtle. So you can see you can use either designer paper or you don't even have to emboss, on the sides. I just think it gives it a little bit extra. You can stamp on the front or you can use a piece of designer paper, and then you've got your little tidbits on the inside. So I hope you might try one of these. They're pretty simple, and I hope you have a great day.